Hey, what is up everyone? It's Rinku, and today we're going to be looking at the November 9th Korean patch notes. The main changes today are that they released absolute skills for Musa and Meiwa. It's probably the biggest thing today. They also added combinations for meals and elixirs. We'll talk about that in a bit. And they also reworked the T9 horse system. Now, normally Korea has a ton of small little things, but honestly today's patch notes are pretty simple, so we're going to get straight into it. If you somehow don't know what the absolute skills are, they are a new highest rank for the main hand skills, the absolute rank, and this makes the main hand skills you know and love the same thing. It does the same thing, but it does a lot more damage, and it hits a higher number of targets, so it makes the main hand a lot more viable, and they're doing this for all classes, but today they have finally done it for the Musa Meiwa. Next, let's look at the new meals and elixirs for upgraded buffs. Now, they added new materials to make these. For the foods, you'll need Ancient Kron Spice, and for the elixirs, you'll need Tears of Falling Moon. And basically what you're doing with these new items is you're combining the new item with already existing food to make, I guess, a master food. At first, I thought this was a really cool idea, however the more I read, I realized it was just a convenience feature for people that didn't like popping multiple food or elixir buffs. The reason why I say that is even if you pop one of these 120-minute food buffs, you cannot stack any other foods with it. And even when you make this combination food, it does not seem any better than if you were just to pop 3 different foods within the next 90 minutes. So while I thought this was a way to stack even more buffs, this is actually just a way to convenience stacking a lot of buffs with one click instead of stacking multiple buffs. So these are the combinations for the food. There's Kron Meal with Seafood, Kron Meal with Simple Table, and Kron Meal with Delicacy. There's also 3 new elixirs, Panacea, of Verdure, of Beast, and of Giant. So there's a lot of stuff to take in here, but again, I've looked at this thoroughly and I've compared with foods. I believe that for serious matters such as Node Wars and Siege, it is still worth stacking your own buffs because you can outstack buffs and make them way stronger than any of this stuff. But for convenience sake and for all other situations, if you just want to click one button and get all these things in one click, especially for like getting experience in certain things, probably worth it in some areas. Finally, it's time to look at the coarser system rework. So this is the system where you turn a T8 coarser into a T9 dream horse, and it has been slightly reworked, and I will give some backstory and details on what has changed and how this affects things. So first up, you can now train each area up to 180%. Previously, you could only train each area up to 100%, one item equaled 1%, and now when you go above 100%, one item will be 0.5%, it says right underneath that. So going from 100 to 180 will be kind of twice as hard, and it doesn't say anything about changing it. So to get a T8 or T9 horse, you have to get 200% total. It does not seem like they've changed that in any way, so that means you can now get 180% in one thing and 20% in another thing, even though it would require more items. So that is the first significant change. The next change is that when it successfully awakens, and this is in Korea where they have a chance to become either a Pegasus or a unicorn, and before the chance was just random, probably 50-50, you will now have a higher chance of getting one or the other depending on which meter is high. So if elegance is higher, then it will have more of a chance to become a Dyna, which I believe is the unicorn. If it has more of a skill meter, then it has more of a chance to become Ardenaut, which is the Pegasus. Probably the most important thing to point out is on the same line it says the max chance is 90%. So I believe this is referring to after you successfully awaken your horse, this is the chance it has of choosing either a Pegasus or a unicorn, and it can now be influenced. Also, because it says 90% and because they are now influenced by the 3 categories and the categories can now be trained up to 180%, I believe that the category that influences each horse probably reflects 2% in that category is 1% chance for that horse. Because of this, because of the math, it seems like that's how it would work. So if you had 180% in elegance, you would have a 90% chance of getting a Dyna or unicorn. That's how I'd assume it works. I could be totally wrong, but I mean, you guys are reading it with me, and that's pretty much how I'm theory crafting it so far. So it seems like a pretty good way to like do it. Now, it doesn't say anything about influencing the chance you have of successfully awakening the horse. I believe it's still a 1% chance. I don't know though. It does say strength, or should I say stamina, will be distributed between skill and elegance equally, but I can definitely foresee the future and say that this is just a placeholder before they release the third dream horse, which has been announced will be coming to Korea and hopefully us soon. We don't even have the unicorn yet, but eventually there'll be 3 different dream horses, and the 3 tabs of different training methods will actually make sense. To end this video, I found a short but sweet line in the patch notes. It's probably the best update we've ever gotten. If you have a level 50 and you create a new character and you skip the tutorial will be skipped for every other new character. Thank God. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I love you guys. I'll see you guys next time.